So this question has a lot more to it because it's going to use a bunch of the skills we've learned in this unit so far. It tells me the shortest tube closed at one end to create resonance is 3 centimeters. So when I go to do this, I'm going to start with the pattern. Closed at one end, and it's 3 centimeters. So the shortest possible pattern closed at one end is half a wavelength. That means a quarter of a wavelength. That's a quarter. 1/4 wavelength is 3 centimeters. That means if I wanted to find the actual wavelength, then I would just take 3 divided by 1/4 or 0.25. Also multiplying by 4 does the exact same thing, and I would get 12 centimeters. This is in centimeters. So I know this is true. That means my wavelength, my wave is this. That's going to be really useful to me when I go to find the frequency. The other thing they've told me is it's 21 degrees Celsius. And why is this helpful? Well, because I know the velocity of the speed of sound is 331 plus 0.59 t. And this is sound. We're talking about sound, right? Resonance, we're still talking about sound. It's easy to forget that, but we are, because we get all into this wave patterns and we don't hear a sound, but this is all about sound. So that means I can put in my 21 degrees and I can find the speed of the sound, because speed of sound is based on temperature. So 331 plus 0.59 times my 21 will give me my temperature. I'm not going to worry about rounding it because I'm not done yet, right? This is not my final answer. So I get this. Now you'll notice this is in meters per second. So before I can use this, I need to change this to meters as well. So divide by 100 or move 2 decimal places in order to get to meters. So I need to do that. That's very important to be able to use this. Now I can find my frequency, because the other equation we know is that the speed of a wave is also the frequency times the wavelength. This is a universal wave equation. I can now use this to find my frequency because I know my velocity of my sound. I'm trying to find my frequency. Don't forget to use your changed one in meters, and I can now find my frequency. So my frequency in this case is quite high, but it was a pretty short tube, right? It was a pretty short, or yeah, it's a pretty short wavelength. So I got, and I'm going to put this in sig figs. I only get to keep 2 now. So I'm going to 2.8 times 10 to the 3 hertz. And that would be my answer.